Hi everyone. I wanted to give an update on how Carnivore is working for me. January 21st was 1 year of Carnivore. So today is day 368 of eating Carnivore. And I've had a few questions to where people have asked me exactly what do I eat on Carnivore. And I eat beef, mainly beef. Sometimes I eat chicken, and when I eat chicken, I have to always eat beef alongside it because the beef with the chicken just gives me the amount of fat that my body needs. Now, when I do eat chicken, I do eat chicken wings or skin on chicken thighs, chicken legs. Um, so therefore, I am getting fat with that. It's just not enough fat. So I always have to add some fat. Um, I started to do a live this morning, but I got interrupted. So I had somebody at my door, and it happened to be my sister-in-law, and so she wanted me to go to the store with her. I did that, and we went and ate at Buffalo Wild Wings. Now, I did a video on the Buffalo Wild Wings, what I order, and so what I order is the chicken wings, naked, so it has no sauce, no seasoning, and I bring my own seasoning. Now, had I known I was going to go there, I would have taken some butter with me, because then I would have put the butter in there as well and use that to dip in to add some more fat. So I will end up eating again. I usually only eat one time a day, so this will be within a 4 hour window, and I'll be adding some beef a little bit later. And so, let me put on my glasses so I can read because I wanted to be able to really give you guys an update on what all has transpired in this 1 year of eating carnivore. Why did I start it? I started it because of all my autoimmune issues. So, at the beginning of my health journey, I was on keto, and I did really well with that, except for the fact that I would make a lot of keto treats, and I baked everything myself, so it was a lot better than these pre-made keto bars or whatever you can get from the store because that's just loaded full of garbage. Canola oil is poison, vegetable oil is poison, and so a lot of those things have those products in it, and they're not good for our bodies. But keto, as I said, did really well for me, but it didn't get rid of a lot of my autoimmune diseases. So I had asked a doctor about, what can I do because of the IBS, IBD, and the Crohn's, um, to help, my body. And he suggested that I go ketovore or carnivore to reset my colon. So I tried the ketovore first. It really wasn't anything different than what I was already doing. So I decided to just jump right into carnivore. And so by day 12 of carnivore, I was not constipated anymore. I was actually using the bathroom like a normal person. So within 14 days, it was just, I couldn't believe how my body felt. Um, because I was going to the bathroom, I didn't have any pains from the IBS and IBD and any gut pains from the Crohn's. Everything was feeling fabulous. And so my initial goal was to go 90 days. So once I got to 90 days, I thought, well, gosh, I feel so good. I don't want to go back. And so, anyway, I had, let you know that I usually only eat one meal a day, and it's called OMAD. And so, like I said, what I eat on carnivore is mainly only red meat, cooked beef fat, and sometimes even raw. I will have raw beef fat that I cut into little squares. I put salt on it and put it in the freezer, and so I just take it out of the freezer and I eat it that way. And I think it's good. It kind of tastes like the consistency of cheese, but you just have to make sure that where you're getting your fat, your beef fat, is a good source. So you kind of have to watch that. And I don't do any fat that comes from around the organs at all. That's called suet, and that is not kosher at all. And so I do eat eggs sometimes, but when I do, I only eat the egg yolks. The egg whites cause me inflammation, and I did some research into that. And as any farmer knows, The egg whites is for the baby chick to eat. It gives the baby chick the added hormones it needs and the antibiotics. And those things don't work well with some of our bodies, and I just happen to be one of them, of course. I've done some experiments since being carnivore. At 6 months, I decided to try to eat the whole egg. I did that, and I still had inflammation, but not as bad because used to it would be fairly immediate after eating. I mean, I'm not saying like 2 seconds, but within a half an hour to an hour, then I would have inflammation. And so after 6 months of carnivore and trying to eat the whole egg, I noticed that it caused me a little bloating in my stomach that I had never realized before. So anyway, as time progresses and as you heal more, you start being able to experiment with other carnivore foods to bring them in, the things that you couldn't eat before. And so, like I said, wanted to talk a little bit more about when I eat chicken and why I have to eat beef, because I really need that added fat, and the chicken is just not fat enough. It makes me feel a little sluggish, um, just not as enough energy, that I don't get enough energy from the chicken that I get from the beef. And so I do eat sometimes some cheese, so I try different cheeses. Now, I will say my first 30 days on carnivore, I eliminated all dairy. And because I was really going 100% strict, just beef and salt and water. And then I gave up coffee. And so I've since brought coffee back in, and I'm able to have a little bit of coffee. And I have 2 cups a day, and it doesn't cause me any problems. Somebody will tell me that that's not carnivore and try to take away my card. Well, come and get it. Whatever. We each have to kind of walk our own walk and do what we feel is best for us and our bodies. As I said, I did give up coffee for 30 days. I did the no dairy for 30 days when I first started. When I reintroduced dairy, I introduced aged cheddar, had a little bit of a response from that, so I waited 2 more days of just having beef, water, and salt. And then I introduced the goat's milk cheese, which I make myself, but I do have a goat milk cheese that I do get from Costco that I really like as well. I have absolutely no reactions from that. There's a lot of the aged cheddar cheese and aged other cheeses that I get. I have no response from those at all, and I do really well with that. But the eating carnivore has put my autoimmune everything into remission. IBS, IBD, Crohn's, Hashimoto. I no longer have arthritis, no hypoglycemia reactions, no acid reflux, no ADD anymore, no more depression, no anxiety or panic attacks. They're all totally gone. And I was really amazed by that, and I started doing a little bit of research and found that people who have depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, and just a whole range of anxiety, panic attacks have a lot of inflammation in their body. And so that's inflammation of the brain. And so I believe that's why the anxiety and panic attacks are gone now, is because I don't have the inflammation in my body that I had before. And so I really am grateful for that. Also, I used to have along my neck here and my shoulders a lot of skin tags, and they are 100% gone. I mean, I had heard that when I started carnivore, and honestly, I didn't really believe it. And so I also had a like a cyst on the top of my head that I'd had removed once before, and it grew back, and it's totally gone. So there's just so many things that I have found that has been helpful to me and has helped me. I don't have the brain fog anymore. I used to, every morning I would read my Bible, and I would have to put a little mark on the last chapter that I read, because I would go the next morning to go read my Bible, and I wouldn't remember where I ended up. Where did I end last? Was this chapter 22 or chapter 23. I don't even know. So now I don't have that problem anymore. I always remember where I left off. And so, as I said, no brain fog, no losing track of what I was talking about. I know you probably know what I'm talking about, where you're sitting there having a conversation with somebody, and then all of a sudden you totally lose your train of thought and you don't even remember what you were just talking about. That happened to me a whole lot. And I've done really well. There's been some times that I had some issues with some wanting something like a craving, and I didn't have any cravings at all for a long time on carnivore when I first started. And then when our orchard came into bloom and our my plums came out, I tried to eat a plum. I couldn't eat it. And then I tried a handful of blueberries, and it almost immediately caused me to have a hypoglycemic reaction. And I know there's going to be people out there that say, "Oh, blueberries doesn't cause an insulin response." Well, I'm sorry, but it did for me. Everybody's body is different and everybody reacts differently. After eating that handful of blueberries, I had 2 weeks of hell. I'm sorry, that's no other way to put it. But I had cravings. I was craving biscuits. I don't like biscuits. Why was I craving a biscuit? It was ridiculous. I mean, there were stupid things that I was craving that made absolutely no sense to me. It took me 2 weeks to get back into, I guess, ketosis to where I just didn't have any of the cravings anymore. That all left me. And everything went great this year at Thanksgiving. I made all the foods for everybody to eat. Didn't have any desire to eat anything at all. And then along came Hanukkah, and I made pecan pralines, and I ate one. And before you know it, I ate five. And so that took me down the hole of cravings again and some autoimmune responses to that sugar, and it was terrible. I gained 10 pounds, and the 10 pounds was all in inflammation. And so it, was a struggle to get back on board. I immediately started eating meat again, of course. I didn't ever stop, I didn't ever go run to something else. I ate the pecan pralines, felt like garbage, and I actually went and bought me some. I don't know if you can read this, probably going to be backwards, but it's activated charcoal solar ray is it? So I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, so I had to take the charcoal because it really just killed my stomach and hurt me so much. And so there's people that ask me different questions about, eating carnivore. Isn't it hard? But for me, it's really not. Yes, I made a mistake. I should never have made pecan pralines for people, but every year I make almond brittle and I make pecan pralines and I give out as gifts for Hanukkah to people in my congregation and my family. And I'm going to promise you, I don't think I want to do it next year. And just because I do like pecan pralines, and I don't like how it made me feel. It made me have brain fog again, and just for being super forgetful. That week I had forgot 3 different appointments that I had, and I hadn't had that issue in a very long time. So just this 1 year of carnivore has done miracles for me, and everyone is a little different on their carnivore walk. A lot of people eat any kind of meat. They say anything that has a face, you can eat it. But because I eat kosher, I don't do that. Now, on my Facebook page, on my Instagram, on my YouTube, you will find meat and cheese mixed together because I eat biblically kosher, not rabbinically kosher. And so if that offends you, I'm sorry. That's just the way I eat. And you can choose the way you want to eat, and I'll choose the way I want to eat. And so, what I have told people in the past that being kosher, you can go to all these other carnivore sites and you're going to see all this shellfish and all this pork, where on my page and my YouTube, you're not going to see those things. Yes, you're going to see meat and cheese. but that's the worst thing you're going to see. You're not going to see the pig, and you're not going to see the shellfish. So anyway, I just want to thank you for being here and listening to me today. And if you have any questions, just put them in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do about answering them. I am going to start trying to video more. I do a lot of videos every day on what I eat on Instagram. So if you do want to find me on Instagram, I'm Vicky, Vicki, the Kosher Carnivore on Instagram is where you can find me. Y'all have a wonderful day. Remember, meat heals, sugar kills, and fat is where it's at.